The Bible is filled with miraculous stories, but few are as gripping as the tale of Lazarus. Join us today as we delve into the dramatic account of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead, a testament to faith, love, and ultimately hope. Have you ever pondered over the profound mysteries of life and death? What happens when the soul leaves its earthly abode? Does it find eternal peace or wait for a grand resurrection? Today, we bring you the remarkable story of Lazarus, a man who quite literally cheated death. In the ancient hills of Judea, where secrets lie buried beneath centuries of dust, there exists a story that defies everything we think we know about life and death. A story of a man named Lazarus who, according to Scripture, walked out of his grave not as legend, not as myth, but witnessed by dozens, recorded by history, and feared by those in power. Bethany, a small village just 2 miles from Jerusalem, seems like your typical scenic neighborhood today. Tourists walk these ancient streets, unaware that they're standing at the epicenter of one of history's most extraordinary events. But in the 1st century, this quiet place harbored a secret that would shake the foundations of the Roman Empire and change the course of human history forever. Our story begins with 3 siblings, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, ordinary people living ordinary lives in an extraordinary time. Their lives revolved around their close-knit community, the rituals of their faith, and the love that bound them together as a family. Little did they know that their lives were about to change in a way that would defy human understanding and test the very limits of faith. One fateful day, as the shadow of illness fell upon their brother Lazarus, his sisters knew they needed help. With hope as their guide, they sent a message to a friend, a traveling teacher who had been performing unusual miracles throughout the region. The message was simple. "Lord, behold, he for whom you have great affection is sick." John chapter 11, verse 3. But what happened next defies all logic. For when Jesus heard it, he said, "This sickness is not death, but for the glory of God, that God's Son may be glorified by it." John chapter 11, verse 4. These words set the stage for a chain of events that would blur the line between faith and skepticism, belief and disbelief. But why didn't Jesus rush to Lazarus's aid? Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. John chapter 11, verse 5. Why did he wait? As Jesus received the message about his dear friend Lazarus's illness, instead of rushing to help his dying friend, he waited 2 full days. While his disciples were consumed with worry, he remained strangely calm. By the time Jesus began his journey to Bethany, it was too late. Lazarus was dead, buried, sealed in a tomb according to Jewish custom, yet this was not the end of the story. 4 days after the burial, Jesus arrived, and what he said to Martha, Lazarus' sister, sent chills through everyone who heard it. Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." John chapter 11, verse 23. Martha's response reveals the true horror of what was about to happen.
I know he will rise again in a resurrection at the last day. John chapter 11, verse 24.
But Jesus wasn't talking about the future. He was talking about now. Jesus said to her,
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will still live, even if he dies. Whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? John chapter 11, verse 25 and 26.
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will still live, even if he dies. Whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? John chapter 11, verses 25 and 26. She said to him, "Yes, Lord, I have come to believe that you are the Christ, God's Son, he who comes into the world." John chapter 11, verse 27. When she had said this, she went away and called Mary, her sister, secretly saying, "The teacher is here and is calling you." John chapter 11, verse 28. What happened next was witnessed by dozens of people whose lives were forever changed by what they saw. When she heard this, she arose quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the village, but was in the place where Martha met him. Then the Jews who were with her in the house and were consoling her, when they saw Mary, that she rose up quickly and went out, followed her, saying, "She is going to the tomb to weep there." John chapter 11, verses 29 to 31. Therefore, when Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, "Lord, if you would have been here, my brother wouldn't have died." John chapter 11, verse 32. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews weeping who came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled. John chapter 11, verse 33. Jesus wept and said, "Where have you laid him?" They told him, "Lord, come and see." John chapter 11, verse 34. And as he walked toward the tomb, a crowd followed him, each with their own grief and expectations. Some came to comfort, others to observe, but none could have imagined what was about to unfold. Jesus commanded them to roll away the stone. Martha protested. After 4 days, the smell of decay would be overwhelming. Jesus said to her, "Didn't I tell you that if you believed, you would see God's glory?" John chapter 11, verse 40. And as that ancient stone scraped against stone, revealing the black mouth of the tomb, something impossible was about to happen. So they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you listened to me. I know that you always listen to me, but because of the multitude standing around, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me." John chapter 11, verses 41 and 42. After giving thanks, Jesus turned to the crowd. His gaze was intense, unwavering, and in a voice that echoed with authority, he uttered words that would change everything. "Lazarus, come out." John chapter 11, verse 43, and then movement. He who was dead came out, bound hand and foot with wrappings, and his face was wrapped around with cloth. John chapter 11, verse 44. For a moment there was silence. The crowd stood stunned, grappling with the spectacle before them. The dead man, Lazarus, was alive and standing before them. It was a miracle, a testament to the power of faith and divine intervention. Jesus said to them, "Free him and let him go." John chapter 11, verse 44. As the crowd looked on in awe, Jesus instructed them to unbind Lazarus and let him go. Lazarus, freed from his bonds, emerged from the tomb, a living being once more. And so the unthinkable had happened. Death had been conquered, at least for this moment. Lazarus was alive and among the living. Therefore, many of the Jews who came to Mary and saw what Jesus did believed in him. John chapter 11, verse 45. The news of the Lazarus resurrection spread like wildfire, leaving people both amazed and skeptical. Many marveled at the supposed miracle, while others dismissed it as trickery or mere superstition. This event became a pivotal moment, shaping the perceptions of Jesus' powers and influence. The religious authorities, who had tolerated Jesus' other miracles, suddenly saw him as an existential threat. Why? Because raising the dead wasn't just a miracle, it was a claim to divine power, and in a world ruled by Caesar, claiming divine authority was treason. The high priest Caiaphas made a chilling calculation. It is better for one man to die than for the whole nation to perish. The miracle that should have brought joy instead sealed Jesus' fate. The countdown to crucifixion had begun. Now, the story of Lazarus raises many fascinating questions that have echoed through the ages. One of the most compelling is the manner of Lazarus's resurrection. What was it like for him to emerge from the dead after 4 days? Did he experience a vision of the afterlife? Did he retain memories of his time beyond the veil? Unfortunately, the biblical account does not delve into the specifics of Lazarus's experience, leaving us to wonder what he may have seen or felt during his journey from death to life. Another intriguing aspect of the story is the reaction of those who witnessed the resurrection. How did seeing death so dramatically reversed impact their beliefs and perspectives? We learn that many believed in Jesus after witnessing this miracle, but what about those who didn't? How did skepticism take root, and what were the consequences of rejecting such an extraordinary event? Finally, the fate of Lazarus himself remains a mystery. After his miraculous resurrection, history seems to lose track of him. Why do you think he faded from the narrative? Did he live a life of seclusion, forever changed by his brush with death? Or did he continue to follow Jesus, becoming a living testament to the power of faith? Perhaps the most important question raised by the Lazarus story is this: what does it teach us about faith, death, and the nature of belief? Does it offer a glimpse into the possibility of life after death? What can we learn about the power of faith and the importance of confronting death with hope? These questions, along with many others, continue to fascinate theologians, philosophers, and individuals from all walks of life. The Lazarus story challenges us to confront our deepest fears and beliefs, urging us to contemplate the profound mysteries of existence and the boundless possibilities that lie beyond our understanding. As we reflect on the story of Lazarus, we're reminded of the enduring power of faith, the mysteries of life and death, and the courage it takes to believe in the face of the unknown. It's a story that not only captures our imagination, but also challenges us to consider the depths of human experience and the boundless possibilities that exist within our reach. Today, archaeologists point to what they believe is Lazarus's tomb in Bethany. Tourists visit it daily, most unaware of the cosmic significance of what allegedly happened there. But the real marvel isn't just the alleged resurrection, it's how different people interpreted the same event. The account was recorded by John, one of Jesus' closest disciples, not as allegory, not as parable, but as historical fact. But questions remain. What did Lazarus experience during those 4 days? Did he remember anything? And why don't we have any record of his own words about what happened to him? Perhaps most mysteriously of all, what eventually happened to the man who conquered death? History loses track of Lazarus after this moment. Some traditions say he fled to Cyprus to escape those who wanted him dead again. Others claim he lived quietly, forever changed by his journey to the other side. Ultimately, the Lazarus story poses a profound question, a question that transcends time and challenges our understanding of existence. What if death isn't the final answer we've always believed it to be? What if beyond the veil of mortality lies the promise of resurrection? The mystery of Lazarus remains unsolved, not because we lack evidence, but because the evidence points to something our minds struggle to accept. That perhaps death itself is not permanent.